Good evening all. I've got a Pookie update. I'll bring you that in a minute. How's the sound? Okay, so we have started. Turn it down a bit. Can you hear me all right, everybody? I'm having serious internet problems. Surprise, surprise. So this might be even more jerky than usual. Okay, so we have got Peter Robinson, Stephen Moon, Rick Visser, Blair Drader, Snorefeli, Rick Visser, Dave Standing. Good to see you, dude. A new one, I think, to the live stream here. Darren Smith, Hans-Petter Summerson, Olaf Bonk. Olaf, again, I know I said last week I hadn't forgotten you. I still haven't forgotten you, but I genuinely got on top of work Friday afternoon, interrupted by Sean Makokalo coming over, so it's his fault that I was delayed. I haven't forgotten you. I know what you need. I'm on it. Paul Elliott Kowalczyk, Stephen Moon, probably said you already. Thomas Hans Reyes, Nadia, Caroline, Darren, Brian. It's great to see you all. John. Good stuff, guys. Great to see you. Right. Before I do anything. Yeah, John Bythway saying I'm lagging real bad. Yes. Video terrible. Yeah, I know. I have currently got, even using my 4G, which is quicker than my wired internet, I'm currently uploading at 756 kilobytes per second with a frame rate flicking somewhere between 1 and 7 frames per second. So, Martin Overwood, is he jerking? I'm not even going to go into that, Martin. Ken is here, Dwight's here, Peter's here, Simon Gregory's here. Great to see you all. Right, anyway, I was going to... This is not so much a request, but more of a response to complaints. I'm about to set a 30-minute timer. And whatever happens in 30 minutes, this stream is going dead. I know... I've always known I'm a waffler, but I didn't realise quite the extent to my waffling. So there you go. 30 minutes started now. When that goes off, we're done. Right. Paul Trilk, evening. That takes me into my first point. Just to say, everybody that's been feeling poorly, Paul in particular, I hope you're all starting to feel a little bit better. There are definitely things going around. It's inflicted the whole team. Somehow we managed to transmit these things across to each other through Zwift. And it's been a real problem with people having to pull out of events and stuff. So I hope you're all feeling better. I hope you're on the mend. Paul in particular, like I say, need you back in those TTs, dude. So get a load of Lucozade, Lemsip, whatever other medication you like. Don't overdose on it this week. Get yourself fit, especially for the 111. Right. I have my pad. Slightly wine stained, where I just spilled a little. Oh, of course. Cheers, everybody. You'll notice this glass is a little bit empty. I'll come on to that in a minute. Oh, God, Kev's here. I mean, Kev's here. It's great to see you, Kev. Gordon Sloan's here. No, not at least an hour, Darren. I've just explained. This is going to be a short, quick one. Right. Stage 4 problems. That is where we start. What a nightmare. So much so, it has severely changed the complexion of our league table. I think I mentioned it on my last video. 213 people started the Dust in the Wind race. Over 100 were kicked out, all pretty much at the same time. And Neil Clampy Clamp put it to me that it's possibly to do with the big Halloween update that Zwift were working on at that point in time. I'd like to think not, but if it was, what a bugger. As fun as the hunting for the dinosaur costume was, at the expense of reliability in events and races, nah. So that was a real shame, and even more of a shame when you see what it's done to the league table. For some, well, it didn't seem to affect the A's or the B's at all. I saw one B rider that didn't finish after they started, or certainly from the Zwift Power results that I saw. So it looks like it literally was the C&D pen that had the problems. So in the A category, I will very quickly just have a quick look at this. Mr. LeCue at the top, 136.5 points. But this is closing up because G. Blundred, Brian Roden, Nicholas Carey all picked up really strong points, as did Jamie Woodward and Martin Backer, obviously. Cassie Baldy, Nicholas Nielsen. Cassie's only done 2 races. She's bringing herself back into this fight. Nicholas has only done 1 and shown his strength. He's coming back into this fight. This is going to get interesting in the A's. And I feel bad because I'm so removed from the A's, I tend to not pay as much attention on the results. But there's a seriously tight battle developing, and particularly with the races like the 111 and the 4 Horsemen, where the A's, I think, are going to really, really fight that one out all the way to the end. So, well done you guys. Let's move on to the B's, who also were unaffected, largely unaffected. I mean, it's another win for Wilts Rider. Wilts Rider, I know you're not on Facebook. I'm questioning, I mean, I've not seen your actual power numbers. I know you've not picked up a strike yet. But I think you would benefit from promotion to the A's and battle it out with those guys, because you're super strong, my friend. Not that the chasing pack in the A's aren't super strong. Akim Ott on his birthday picked up 2nd place. John, by the way, still rocking it. Odd Olav Rorstad. I mean, this is tight as well. Look at that. So you got 121.5 up to 152.5 for the top 4 positions. And then it's like Paul Sturgis, Nicholas Homestead, Jorn Anderson, Simon Romain, Thomas Reyes, all within a handful of points of each other. Then you've got another little clutch of riders, all again separated by 2 or 3 points. Absolutely amazing. John, by the way, has done an amazing job on this table, where he's gone to sort of greater lengths than the standard table. Now I'm going to hazard a guess at this coloured column. Yellow, I believe, is your league position hasn't changed. Green means you have progressed, and red means you've slipped down. Really good idea, just for sort of instant verification of what your last race did for you. He's also got number of races completed, average points per race. I mean, talk about go over and above. Absolutely amazing. Average position. I mean, that tells you everything. Average position is 1.5 for Wilts Rider. So, or was that Wilts Rider? Yeah. So I'm thinking promotion is not far off. So great stuff. Right, now this is where it got interesting. I mean, it's mixed it up. We've not got the 2 Darrens at the top anymore. Dave Crook thrown himself right into the mix. Chris Davis with a stunning win on the Dust in the Wind ride. Popped himself right at the top. There are more contenders in there now because of a few. I mean, Darren Rayfield, I don't know. Darren, oh, Darren, you did have a dropout, didn't you, also? So that's mixed things up. I mean, most of those names that you see blanks in this column, most of these guys were there in the race and got dumped out. Now, I know what you're all waiting for. The most important part of this league table is this bit. I am now outside of the 30s. I am down 40th position. Even more worrying is the gap between myself and Mr. Neil Clamp. 36 points, plays 15. All from one race. You might have been ahead of me anyway, were you? 15. Yeah, I think you might have been. No, you weren't. Yeah, you were a point behind me. That's right. And you're now killing me. So, obviously, I would have stuck to your will and made sure whatever happened, I took at least only 1 less point than you in that race had I not been dumped out. So, thank you, lucky stars, Mr. Clamp. Same again, though, with all the other categories. I mean, it's too early to start making predictions, especially given that the top 3 or 4 are also tight, and then these other clutches of riders. We'll move on to the Ds before I jump down and have a look at the comments that are coming in. Usual thing, it's going to take me hours to... Actually, what's my timer on? $23 minutes left. Right. So, category D. Look at that. Geir Ingmar Henriksson, just 3 points ahead of Martin Overweg. Martin, yeah, they've both completed all 4 races. So has Tin Man, who's right up there. Future Co, 1 point behind Tin Man. Stephen Moon fighting, Nadja Mentz fighting. I mean, this is just brilliant. I've got a hunch the top 2 or 3 positions in the Ds is going to be where the real entertainment is this year, especially after I get demoted to the Ds and start trying to fight it with these guys. Anyway, that's the league table. Let's have a look at some of these comments. How far back should I go up? Who is Wilt's Rider and how does he know about the league if he's not on Facebook? He was on Facebook in the very early days of WKG and actually took part, I believe, in the very first league. He is on Zwift Power. I communicate with him through email. I know he watches the vlogs. So it's a shame because Facebook is such a massive part of what we do. So it does feel like there's something untoward if one of us isn't known to everybody else through Facebook. But he's legit. He's bloody fast. I think he needs to be promoted. I will email him to that effect unless he does manage to watch this live stream. Actually, that reminds me. I've started streaming. I haven't started recording. Oh, no, I have. Okay, that's fine. Right, okay, let's have a look at this. Let's go back up. Jason's here. Good to see you, Jason. I'd like to say unlucky for not being there in the Dust in the Wind race as well, but that did me a massive favour, keeping you kind of in touch in my League of 11, which I'll go on to in a minute. Jamie Woodward's here. Don't talk about... Right, yes, no Grand Prix talk. I'm not even reading that message out, Rink. I know I've just displayed it to the world, all 26 of you. Right, so... Hardly worth opening the wine for. Right, okay, we'll do that now. Wine of the week was going to be 19 Crimes. And I was going to give you a very educated, in-depth review on the flavours and aromas that I can pick out with my experienced palate, shall we say. What meals I think it goes well with. But I went shopping to take my wife and my daughter to get some clothes today and just lost the will to live. So I didn't bother stopping at the supermarket to get any wine on the way back. So I have the remains of the bottle I opened last Sunday. And I've got to be honest, it's lost nothing in terms of flavour during the week. That tastes good. Carta Roja. I won't bother giving you a full rundown wine of the week review of that one. I'll save the description I've rehearsed. I'll save that for the other wine. Right, anyway, Carta Roja. Really nice. Go and get it. I booked tomorrow off work. Lots to talk about. Dave Standing. Yeah. No, man, I'm done in 20 minutes. I told you. Weird, had no reports any B losing connection. Yeah, as I say, I think, unless I'm wrong, I think the C's and D's go off in a separate pen to the A's and B's. A's and B's seem to get away with it. Stop with the radio silence interruption. Let the race count towards the minimum number of races for everybody. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, because obviously there was talk, because we lost so many racers, there was talk about rerunning it, but I think I mentioned it before, it was disappointing enough for us guys that got off the start line and were chucked out in a few minutes. It would have been even more disappointing to have gone through that race to find it had no value in the league. So the race stands, but yeah, I think what I would do, if it's possible to get the starting list and confirmation of everybody that pulled out for that very reason, I think that's a really good point actually, Rink. We will count that as one of your minimum requirement of 12 races. Good shout. I didn't even think of that. Jamie Woodward, it's tough getting points in the A's. It's a tough fight. It's easy to get a minimum of 20 points now with the new point system, but it's a tough battle, I'll give you that. Stephen Moon, I know some Ds that would have beaten me. Likewise. That were in the race, that start didn't finish. Started didn't finish. So is there a way to redress the balance? I feel bad. Yeah, that kind of goes back to what Rink was saying, I suppose, Stephen. I appreciate your honesty and sportsmanship. And it would be nice. How far behind is Clampy from me? I'm just wondering if we should give everybody that got dumped out a goodwill. How many points? Where's Clampy? 36, 15. So 22 points. Just as a goodwill gesture for everybody that got dumped out in the first 5 minutes of that race. I'll think about that. I might actually do it. Good thinking, Stephen. Okay, your sound is cutting out bad now as well. Oh man, I mean, I'm looking at like 350 kilobyte upload speed at the moment. It's a joke. Give me your points, Stephen. Marcus knows who he is. Oh, referring to Wilt's rider. Yes, I do. Take 5. I need to make a run for the tour. I'm going to actually live like or laugh at that comment, Snurfily. I didn't see the whole... Oh, look, I can't. It'll probably come up that I've liked that in about half an hour. I didn't see the whole post of what happened in your race until a long time after. So I'm glad you managed to stem the flow, so to speak, in time and deal with that particular mess. But yeah, not good. Steve Moon, it was you, Gordon, I was thinking of. Saw you at the start and saw you dropped. I know you'd have ridden better, so maybe Commissaire's inquiry. Yeah, as we've just discussed. Gordon Jackson, spot on, Marcus. John is doing a great job. Absolutely. I mean, incredible. That's all you guys are doing an amazing job. And then to go to the extra lengths and making that a spreadsheet that I wouldn't even... That would take me years to work out how to make one of those columns. So, absolutely brilliant. Makoka Woody Lowe is here. He's the reason, Olaf, that you haven't got what I've promised you, because I was mid-work when Sean knocked at my door and I just couldn't get rid of the bugger. John Bythway and Gordon having a bit of a love-in, a bit of sweet talk. Snorefley is dropping out right now. Yeah, dropping out of his trousers. Gordon Sloan, so do I get the points? I don't know. We'll work something out, Gordon. Controversial, but do we negate stage 4 given the number of people affected? As discussed. Sorry, I'm really slow on these comments, so I will have covered some of the things that come up. Chris Davis with a stunning victory. That may be the one and only time I'll ever hear that. Cheers. Oh, that was from Chris Davis. No, mate, that's a tough course and an incredible win to do it on that course. Good stuff. Jamie Woodward, rerun at the end of the season. Now, that would be really interesting, depending on how the points are settled. That would be so good. I'm not sure I could swing that. I'm still thinking I'll just give everybody in the C's, other than those that finished, 22 points. That seems like the only fair, responsible way of doing it to me. So, Gordon Sloan, no, I can't do that. Would be unfair on those that did complete. Yeah, fair enough. Darren Hunter, stop wasting time looking at the timer. 15 minutes left. Noel McGrath, he's back. What did you miss? Well, all of the league races, Noel, obviously. Great to see you, buddy. Snorri went for a dump. I think we were able to read between the lines there, Peter, but thanks for the clarification for anyone that didn't. The league race needs more hills. I'm sure I saw you moaning about the amount of climbing earlier, Hans. I've tried to mix it up as best as possible. I've used every available route on Zwift, pretty much. I've done long, killer, torturous races. Mrs. Marcus Neal is just out of shot miming as I talk. I've mentioned this before. She can't help herself but try and butt in on these videos nowadays. So, yeah, no, I'm not adding more hills. I'm not taking away any of the hills. I've got what I think is a good mix for all types of riders, all abilities, as many time zones as possible. It is what it is. Bit of a hollow points gain, knowing others have tried, but widespread tech issues dropping off. i.e. not just one person affecting dropout. I totally get it, Stephen, and you're being incredibly generous and sporting. Maybe we'll have a chat and do some kind of vote on a sort of compensation system. Maybe even run a race just for those that were booted out and allocate half points based on positions. That way it won't affect the finishing order of the guys that did finish, but it's some points for the guys that are able to rerun it, if that would make any sense. I don't know, we'll chat about it, but I know exactly what you mean, Stephen, and I'd love to find, me being one that missed out as well, I'd love to find a way to grab some points there. Snorri's doing dust in the wind. I don't think there's any dust down there, but plenty of wind. Jason R. Blaster, that's 2 I've missed now, makes the 111 all the more interesting. Damn right, Jason. Now, I don't want to blow my own trumpet here, because previous and recent and current, yeah, all form won't back this up. I know I'm going to get a decent haul of points in the 111. I can't really qualify that statement with anything, any evidence or any reason for you to believe me. I just know. I know it's happening. So there we go. So Jason, yeah, very interesting indeed. Mr. Darren Rayfield's here. Good to see you, dude. Mr. Williams, how can I make my wife take my virtual cycling more seriously? The amount of races I've missed is shocking. Stop having babies. It's probably a good start. And don't ask me, because my wife doesn't take it seriously either. Maybe, what if you win? I'll tell you what, Dwight, there's going to be a couple of random prizes throughout the season for reasons that I haven't even really decided on. But if you happen to win one of those prizes and can show your wife that there's financial or material gain from doing this, maybe she'll take it more seriously and let you join in more. So that's about as much help as I can give you. What about a goodwill points gesture for those who wanted to do it but could not be there? No, I'm not opening that can of worms. Bloody hell. Give enough points to stay in the running but not gain? Now, I'm thinking give us enough to leapfrog them because of the emotional turmoil that we had to suffer. Dwight, Noel McGrath agrees. Yeah, what, for not turning up? Okay. Evening all, happy wine day. Cheers, Stuart. Happy wine day to you, my friend. Actually, Stuart was one of the guys I was chatting to about doing a nice full weekly wine review. It will come, I promise. It really was just... I mean, I went shopping... I went to Debenhams. Anyone not in the UK won't get it. Debenhams, H&M, River Island. I can't even remember all the women's departments of all of these shops, and basically stood there. I did buy myself something, something really exciting. I bought another sweatband. And a puncher repair kit, to be fair. I spent a total of... I managed to go in Decathlon and spend only £6. How incredible is that? That's got to be some kind of cyclist record. Yeah, I went in needing an inner tube, a puncher repair kit, and came out with a puncher repair kit and a headband. That's pretty restrained on my part, I think. Mr. Stephen, okay, that's good. So when I disconnect doing the 111, 4 horses and toss to the sky. Toss to the sky? What the hell is that one? That counts as 3 races then. No, only if you get legitimately dumped out in a mass dumping by Zwift. Otherwise, I'm having none of it. Anyone that went on longer in the race than I did, incidentally, and pulled out for any other reason, you're getting nothing. Trust me, you're getting absolutely nothing. Anyway, hey, Mr. Grasso, great to see you, my friend. Say hello to Ardith for me if she's not watching. Mr. Visser, Snorri fell asleep, I guess. Yeah, he's blocked up now. I think he's in the toilet fighting his own battles. I'll leave him to it. Bonus 21st stage. Good idea. Good idea. Made for just the people that were dumped out so that it doesn't affect the points of the people that already picked him up for the race. I like it. Snorri was out of toilet paper. How is this becoming like the... what would be a good name for this? What's happened? Based around Snor's toilet habits. Anyway, I'll leave you guys to come up with suggestions for that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Best suggestion for a play on what's happened, but using Snor's current digestive situation, wins a bead-on. I'll give you a bottle. There you go. Hello, Mrs. Marcus. Oh, she's gone now. Emma Noel says hello. She said hi in exactly that voice. Oh crap! What, instead of what's happened, or are you not? I've not got down that far yet. What happens then if we have a dropout in a normal race? Could get messy. I think there has to be. I mean, this was nearly 50% of the overall racers, and therefore I think probably more than 50% of registered league riders that were kicked out of that. So I think we have to work it on that. If it happens again and more than half of the riders or thereabouts get kicked out, I think that's the point in which we have to look at it and come up with some kind of alternative. I'm not saying we're going to do anything points-wise. What I'm absolutely sure we should do now, because now that Rink's mentioned it, is to include round 4 as one of the 12. Because anybody that tried to do that race and was already touch and go to do the 12 races, that's even worse than just missing out on the points. So, Dwight Williams, any WKGs in NW6 or close to it? Is it Spencer White around your way somewhere, Dwight? Possibly. Sorry, Spencer, I'm speaking for you. You might not live anywhere near that. Unlucky today, Dwight, by the way, but not quite as unlucky as the Everton player who I nearly actually brought up my tea as I watched his leg get folded in 3 or 4 parts by Aurier, was it? Serge Aurier that cluttered into him after Heung-min Son had tripped him over. Horrible. Anyway, I'm not talking football because I have only 7 minutes and 49 comments to get through. And my pad. This isn't going to happen. Right. Keith. Giving 22 points for those that got dumped out would be very bad, as those that finished and got less than 20 points would be penalised for finishing. I was joking, Keith. I just want to jump ahead of Neil Clamp. Sorry, Keith, if you joined late and just picked up on me saying I was going to give 20 points. But I'm glad I've just seen your name, Keith. I sent out a package today to Mr. Visser, who's just ordered some socks. Thank you, buddy. I went to get all my packaging stuff. I have a package for you in my box that I never sent out. And it was a thank you for the egg beater pedals. My sincere apologies. You must have thought that was really rude. I thought I'd sent it. It's in my box with all my packaging tape and label stuff. But that's on its way to you. So sorry, Keith. You thought I was being rude and not thanking you for the amazing gift. Anyway, got to move on. Peter Robinson, I'm about the same distance as you. I'll leave you two to discuss whatever that is yourselves. Dave Stanley, the race nearly killed me and I only got 14 points, I think. Yeah. It seems like a small points haul for the pain involved, but welcome to my world, Dave. I've done 111s, cramping, dying on my arse, being chased by a Rink Visser with a 5-kilometre lead, and he still beats me, so I get 1 point. What's crappened? Shit happens. Oh God, I'm gonna have to choose one of these. Snore is no longer full of shit. WCKG. The crappening. What's happened in the shit pad today? Another one for shit happens. This looks like, oh, this looks like it could be the winner. Who came up with that first? Oh man, that's the trouble though. It's Peter Robinson that did it first. So if it wins, it's going to have to go to Peter. Darren, Peter got it first. Oh, well, Darren, you can see you can't win everything anyway. Darren, congratulations on winning your own Mr. Masterman Wooly. Brilliant stuff. Season's finished. Is that referring to Tottenham or to the Everton player? Dumped out, but not dumped out. It's all down the pan. All right, Mr. Drew, this looks like a serious one. If we start a race and have a dropout, could the cat race managers mark the race as a 0 then? Yes, yeah, that's a good point. We can put some kind of mark in the table that shows that you didn't complete it through reasons other than your own. So I'm just having to keep a check that Mrs. Marcus Neal isn't in view. No, anyone can see her? No, you're good. So it has to be a Velo mass dump. Is that a name for the thing based on Snorri's poo problems, or is that a serious suggestion for redoing races where people are dumped out? I'm not quite sure how to read that, Kev. Knowing you, I know there's something in there, but I'm probably not reading it right. So it has to be a Velo mass dump. It's a good enough name for this show as Ellie. Record to live stream my attempts at hacking my way into Zwift Power. Oh, God, yeah. I meant to make a video about that as well, which is on my list. I've got a list of 3 really useful, what I think will be really useful videos. That's one of them. Isn't that what Snore had? Yeah, what, a Velo mass dump. Joe Walker, what have I joined? Oh, tell me about it, Joe. Look, serious stuff on this pad. The IQ2 scam, public announcement, Virtue Go closing. Where's, what's happened? Congratulations to Darren Hunter for winning the hat. Wine of the week. I'll talk about this one in a minute. A kit update, which I will go into as well. Stage 5 preview. Running, WKG running. The Brian Roden 200. Kev's TTT. Sorry, Kev, I don't think we're even going to get a chance to talk about the TTT that you were in, apparently, that I didn't notice the other week. And other things. So this is all turned into the Snorri Pants show. Right. Dwight Williams, mine, Spurs and the Evertonians. Yeah, that sounds about right. Spurs needed those points. Everton needed those points, and I can't remember which player it was, but he, I think, needed both his legs. Stephen Moon, what was the WKG running item on your list? Oh, okay, thank you, Stephen. There just seems to have been a bit more of an uptake with WKGs doing running on treadmills. I know Peter's just bought one for his wife, so he will definitely be on that because he won't be able to resist. Kenneth's just got one and has been doing a fair bit of running already. Obviously, Keith, I know, already did it. I have a treadmill, which is currently... It's got more stuff on it than last week. There's now a bag of clothes ready to take to a clothes bank, as well as 1, 2, 3 pillows, a duvet, some old curtains. But I have a treadmill. So I don't have a foot pod thing, and I don't actually even, I've never done the running. I don't even know if I have the software option, whether it was something I needed to sign up to way back when. But if there's enough interest, we can set up some WKG running events in between league race breaks. Like for now, for example, we've got a week, just under a week now until the next league race with the 111. There are other breaks around Christmas, although I'm planning something. I'll talk to you about that in a minute as well, if I remember. But yeah, just to try and gauge interest, really, in doing some WKG running events. Social, chatty, live-streamed kind of stuff would be good. I could probably live stream while I run. I can't do it while I ride. It's too intense. Joe Walker, can't believe I'm late for this. Turning into compulsive Sunday evening viewing. Yeah, that's my boy. Cheers, Joe. Love it. Snorri, your time is out. You can't shut up now. Or you can shut up now. It has actually gone, hasn't it? By 2 minutes. Oh no, I got 48 seconds. What can I cram in 48 seconds? Simon Gregory, shut or shit. Oh my God, I can't scroll down to any more comments. Why is that? I've got 64 new comments, or have I caught up? What is this running you talk of? Yeah, I spotted it a few years ago. I noticed this cyclist riding without his bike at the side of the road. I don't know, he must have just forgotten to take it with him. And I think it's just started this whole new craze of like riding bikeless. So yeah, if we could put together a bikeless WKG event where we all stand on one of those platforms that moves and we can pretend we're on our bikes, and I'm harnessing my inner Torana Martinesen here. That could be good fun. I'm up for it anyway, if I can get it to work. Peter Robinson, I was holding mine in, but that was for hot. Right. I made the rule. I can't stop the counter, the timer. Stop. Stop. Oh, it started again. Oh, there you go. Right, stopped it. I did make the rule, but I'm just going to very quickly finish a couple of things. Feel free to log out now. What did Pete say? I was holding mine in, but that was for half past. Started to clench a bit now. All right. Oh, go on, Peter. Off you go. I wouldn't want to be responsible for a nasty mark on your sofa or something. A WKG duathlon, Jamie. Now you're talking, dude. And if they ever bring in the rowing, it could be a triathlon of sorts. Stephen Moon, I'm treadmilled up, stride live, but I'm blooming slow. Mate, you've seen nothing. You think I'm slow on a bike? Wait until I haven't actually got the bike to help me. Serious problems. Dwight Williams, what's happening at Christmas? Okay, I have an idea. Everybody signs up for the, what do we call it? The Rafa Festive 500 and all the rest of it over the Christmas break. I'd had this in mind for a while anyway, and this isn't to replace a Rafa 500, so everybody who normally does that, do it, but this might help with it. I'm obviously doing the Scotland NC 500 in June with a few other WKGers. I think I'm going to try a virtual NC 500 during the Christmas break. So basically 500 miles, 100 miles a day for 5 days. I think that'll actually be harder than the real thing. The only thing I say is it won't be continuous solid 100-mile rides each day, because that's not how it's going to work in the real thing. It might be a couple of hours stop, couple of hours stop, but making sure I've done a minimum of 100 miles a day and try and map out the exact elevation of each of the 5 days that we're going to be doing in the real NC 500. So anybody that wants to join in on that, it's something I'm just going to do myself anyway. But if anyone fancies joining some or all of it, I think that'd be pretty cool. A virtual NC500 would be a pretty good thing to do, and I need to know that I can do it. So that's what it was, Dwight. Love to see you there, man. Turn out, crap, timeout. Stephen Moon, no. What, about the NC500 or the fact that I'm slower than you? Was it you that said you were slow? No. Noel McGrath, if you all run, I might win a race, but I will be cycling. Darren Hunter, halfway. No, it's not. It's not. I will finish soon, I promise. Simon Gregory, log out. Great poop. Related, great poop related title. Log out. I love it. Oh man, I'm torn now between log out and shit happens. Or shit's happening. Was it shit happen? Oh, they're all good. Oh, I don't know. Halfway could be a poo one for Snorefley as well, couldn't it? If you don't finish your list, the next one will be longer. This is a good point. This is a very good point. Thomas Raz, 100 miles a day on indoor trainer is painful. I know. I'm under no illusions. Again, with Makoka Low, Sean, round here the other day, he was very keen to point out that I was deluded about doing the real one as well as the virtual one. I know you're right, sure, but as I said at the time, it's kind of a blind optimism that I go into these things with. And as slow as I am, I do tend to keep going quite well. I'm going to give myself credit for that. So if I do decide to do something, I tend to very slowly, painfully, and almost embarrassingly get to the end of it. So it's worth a try, I think. Sounds bloody crazy. Yes. I was just thinking, loads of pairs of shorts, double up on your bib shorts for some of those longer stretches, full hydration, as many breaks as you can take, you know, just doing it in the way that I intend to do the real thing, which might not be what everybody that's coming with me is planning, but I'm thinking slow, stop, taking the scenery, go slow, stop, taking the scenery. Even if it's really long days, I would rather long days with plenty of breaks than hammering to try and get from one point to another in a restricted time. But it'd be good practice anyway. Martin Overwig, great Christmas idea. Love to join. I don't know if you're being sarcastic there, Martin, but if you're not, I'd love to have you, my friend. NC500 equals about the same as the RAS. Yeah, in 5 days. Yeah, 100 miles a day, I'm in. Yeah, Brian, I didn't even need to ask. Brian, right, another thing on my list, the BR200. Have you done it yet? If not, tomorrow night, cat race up the Alp. Join up. If you're in and this is your 200th ride, albeit it's a cat race, so we won't be able to do it quite the way we did the last one, but we can publicise it as the BR200 cat race. Get as many people to join as possible and make a thing of it. Because I'm struggling to find times to squeeze in a specific race, and I feel so bad because the BR100 was awesome. So the BR200 should be doubly good. Jason Arblasser, WKG 500. Interesting. Jason, you're in for the real thing, man. We're going to need to get some practice in. I expect to see you there. It's optional for everybody apart from Jason, Kev, Peter, Neil, Darren. I think Peter's wife should do it as well. She's going to be driving on the NC500. So maybe get the treadmill out and run alongside Peter to do a virtual NC500. Yeah, you guys it's all compulsory. Everyone else optional. Paul Trilk, what shit? I don't know how many more of these I'm going to get. I should have cut at half an hour, shouldn't I? Because I've got too much to choose from now. Noel replying to Brian, are you cutting back? Yeah, what, just 100 miles a day? Sounds about right. Okay, I've caught up with comments. Kit update. I might be over-egging that slightly, but I'm really excited because I have a kind of virtual meeting tomorrow with a company that I had been my main area of focus to be our new kit supplier. All the usual suspects were in there, but there was one that I love their stuff, their own stuff, like massively. And it's a bit from left field. They're a small company, but it means I can get a lot more personally involved in numbers, prices, design, obviously. And they're kind of YouTube celebrities as well, these guys. So it'll make for a brilliant vlog, the whole process, which is really exciting. And their stuff, I've had it confirmed by one very prominent WKG member who has a lot of their stuff, and a couple of others who have some of their stuff, that it's quality. I knew it was anyway, but it's beautiful stuff. So I won't name them now, but you could probably, some of you will be able to put 2 and 2 together. They supply the kits for my favourite cycling vlogger, other than myself and Torana Martinesen. And I will be hearing from one of them tomorrow to progress this with a view to paying them a visit. Sadly, they've just moved from London up north, so it'll be a long journey for me. Snorefeli, called it. Good man. I wasn't even going to name him, but there you go, Snorefeli, boom. Yeah, Atticus. So I'm waiting to hear from Jimmy tomorrow, and I'm really excited by the idea of being able to do something with those guys. I love their stuff. Right, so Brian's probably up to 300. Yeah, about the climb. I know. I'm absolutely sure I've missed it. Have I seen any confirmation from Brian yet? Yes, I'm up for that. Bloody Tron. Keep trying to go up every day. Excellent stuff, Brian. Right, so I'm going to make this the official Brian Roden 200 cat race tomorrow. So everybody, get involved. Mr. Capel. Hey, Marcus Neal. Fam Capel is watching. Oh, that is awesome. Great to see you, Mick and Len. Great to see you guys. And any other Capels that I've missed. Nana Capel, Uncle Capel, Auntie... I can't even speak. Hey, Paul Trilks called it as well. Atticus, good man. Alexa, kill the stream. Cade and Marcus sitting in a tree. Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't as cryptic as it should have been. I made that far too easy. So anyway, that's the idea. Very excited. I'll keep you posted. Quite literally. I suppose I better mention last week's team time trial for a couple of reasons. One, the technical problems that we were afflicted by again. Andrew Lawrence sent the wrong way right from the start. Absolutely gutted. Who else did we lose? We lost somebody else. I can't remember, but yeah, we ended up losing a couple of riders. But the biggest problem I had was that I felt like I was literally dying. And that leads me on actually to thank everybody for all their suggestions and recommendations in terms of what it might have been with my heart rate, what I could possibly do to overcome that. I've had some really in-depth private messages, so I'm always so grateful for that. And the wealth of knowledge and experience in this group is so valuable to me. So I really, really appreciate your comeback on that. I've narrowed it down to 2 things. One, I'm almost certainly have got a cold, and because my whole family have had a bit of a cold, but I'm on these immune suppressant medication for my eye condition that I have, or it's not an eye condition, but my neurological thing that affects my eyes. And as a result, they do tend to mask symptoms of other things. So I think I have that, and so my heart rate's just a little bit higher. Also, central heating. When it gets to winter, I struggle with the heat worse than in the summer, because central heating, it's just horrible, and it's just making all the cooling attempts less effective, because the house just feels, you know, that sort of oppressive, close, muggy heat. It's just hard for me to shake it off, even with all the windows and doors open or whatever. It's hard, but yeah. Anyway, so thank you all very much. But what I think Kev wanted to talk about in that time trial, I'll give him his moment. Yes, he started 3 minutes behind our team, and yes, he pipped me on the line. It was another moment. The batteries are going. Can you hear this? Batteries are going in tenant a little bit. So yeah, not a great day for me, but and then that was only a repeat of the mini crit from the day before. But I've had a few days off it now. Fingers crossed. Tomorrow's TAP race, because it will be done at a more of a build into it kind of pace. We'll see. That should suit me better. Right. Stop setting off my Alexa. Oh, what can I do? Alexa, make fart noises. My wife loves that. She does it for hours. It's like the most expensive fart machine ever. Neil Clamp, Wi-Fi is crap on the rig, so can't actually see or hear you at the minute, but I'm here in spirit. I don't think it's you actually, Clampy. My Wi-Fi is just horrendous. But great to see you anyway, dude. Gordon Jackson, TTT is now going to be a league points awarded each week. I saw that. Absolutely brilliant. What a great idea. Because it kind of gives us, well, more incentive, obviously, but also it might actually just attract more people to solidify their own team. If you're getting points for Team Fun, for example, and Team Vomit and Pain, we're sort of jumping in and out of teams a little bit, which is great, absolutely fine, and it's to balance the numbers. But it might actually make people even more committed to joining their specific team and fighting for points. I love that idea, that's brilliant. Pookie update, it's not that exciting, but I got a letter through with some raffle tickets. I haven't read the letter fully, but it looks like I can sell or auction these raffle tickets, and anybody that wants to go and see Pookie and their new friends, the donkeys, that are in the goat sanctuary for a little while, we have raffle tickets for that. I will actually put a serious proper post up about that in the group. But I spoke to Pookie on the phone the other day. He's doing well. All's good. He's eating his high fibre breakfast. He's getting on well with Comet and whatever his other friends were called. I can't exactly remember. He did tell me, but he's got a really strong accent, so it's hard for me to fully understand what he's saying. So that's the Pookie update. Thomas, you haven't tried a Tesla Model 3's fart noises. Okay, that's the most expensive fart machine. The new Congratulations on that, by the way, Thomas. I'm very jealous. I do like a Tesla. Right, list. I can't believe I'm nearly done. I've done running, BR200, TTT, my League of 11. That was something I wanted to show you. Oh, no, I didn't want to show you. I wanted to cry about it. This is the damage that last race did. Look at that. 19 points for me, 25 for Neil Clamp. And Neil Clamp has done one less race than me. Jason luckily missed that race, so he's only 1 point ahead. Kevin Wilshire, Kev Stevens, starting to get a bit of a stranglehold. But anyway, that's all me. You don't have to worry about that. Darren Hunter, lol. Is that as in like there's a lull in proceedings, or lull, laugh out loud? Or did I actually set your Alexa off? Snorefley, who is Alexa? Sorry, I was reading Brian Roden. That's really rude. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you there, Snorefley. I was reading Brian Roden's post underneath. Her farts are louder than mine. Who's Alexa's? Good stuff. Do they not get Alexa in Norway? Surely you do. I don't know what her name would be. What's a traditional Norwegian girl's name? That you might, well, Alexa's not a traditional British or American or whatever names are. Right. I was going to talk about Virtue Go closing down and like the implications for everybody else. But I think it's been kind of covered in the multitude of posts on Facebook. It does worry me for the competition. Zwift obviously have just monopolised the market, but there are other products that have real merit. Road Grand Tours, I think, is still fantastic. Mainly, my main interest in them initially was obviously the real routes with Mont Ventoux in particular, and the latest update, which I've not actually. Sean was telling me about it. I've not actually looked at it, but apparently it's come on leaps and bounds. So I'm hoping they still have the backing and the capacity to progress. Zwift needs competition. I wonder how long something like CV Arcade will last, where they don't really have anything to offer anyway, so I'm not quite sure. I know, I forget his name, but obviously the founder, I think it's all coming from his pocket, so I assume he's just going to bankroll it until everybody realises what it is and jump ship, but there we go. Anyway, I'm not going to be bitter, that's nasty. So Paul Trilk saying, Helga is a traditional Norwegian name, and so do you say, hey Helga, set a 20-minute timer for my spaghetti, or actually 20 minutes for spaghetti, that's not good. Thomas saying, no, Helga is not a traditional. Helga's sort of German, isn't it? I don't know. Right, the IQ2 scam, yes, I got sucked in. If you see a Facebook post or any post anywhere for bargain price IQ2 pedal sort of spacer power meters, $25 they were. Something stank about it, but being the eternal optimist and a real bargain hunter, I thought, what's the harm? I'll take a punt. So that's 25, well, 35 with shipping dollars that I will never see again. I put it to PayPal. They came back and said, no, this was a legitimate transaction. So I'm having to try and escalate that complaint. Oh, it looks like my stream's gone. Brunhilde. Brunhilde's German. Surely. Shame about Vertigo, but there is always CV Arcade. RGT does have the backing to continue. Brilliant. Main launch in a few weeks. John, my man. Do you know what I really would love to do? I don't know how many of the registered league riders use RGT as well, but I'm sure we could get them in there. But maybe not for this season, but for a future season, chuck in a couple of RGT stages. I think that would mix things up so well. Something like a 111 that includes, how many would that be? 5 times up Mont Ventoux. Just saying. But no, I'd love to do that. And your little crit courses and things like that. Brilliant. Brunhilde, yep, saw that. Veleton, when they finally release it. Yeah, Veleton, that's geared, if I'm not mistaken, is that going to be geared more towards games consoles? I've not experienced it myself, so I'm not going to comment on that. But yeah, I'm just interested to see if Zwift have such a hold on the market that it's jeopardy for everybody else, or if there is still space for a couple of others that have genuinely unique and valuable ideas. Has Mrs. Neal pulled the plug? Yeah, I think my connection just dropped out for a second, didn't it? No, she didn't. She's banned from this room while I do anything even slightly technical nowadays. That said, I think I'm done. How long did that last? All right, I'm just short of the hour. I think, look at that. What's even more impressive is my glass, my little glass of wine, lasted the whole stream. Okay, so I will end it there. I will just say, obviously, I really hope to see every single one of you at the 111. I know it's not a race that appeals to many or any of you, but it is like the Queen stage of the league. It's always a brilliant event, and if you pace it right, it's good fun. And like I say, well, good fun might be stretching it a bit, but like I say, I will be picking up a crap ton of points in that race. So I need all of you to turn up to try and prevent that, but you're fighting a losing battle. John, by the way, we need to talk about that. I have some serious ideas about that. Oh, my man, music to my ears. I know, obviously, we've had some discussions about bits and pieces before. I wish I could free up some more time to really escalate that with you. I will make sure I do that at some point because it's something I'm serious about. I'd love to try and combine the two where at all possible. Jason Arblaster, 5-time 1-2, are you insane? Yeah, that one was a joke, Jason. I think we did it twice in a week and swore. In fact, I got it on video after the first time saying we'll never do that again. Obviously, we did go back for more. Why not go back to Mario Kart? Well, this is what I'm saying. I don't think CV Arcade's going to last that long, if I'm honest. So I get your point, Tor. Right, guys, that's it. Thank you, as always, for joining me, letting me ramble on for just shy of an hour. I will say, I'm going to do it. Queen Stage is the 4 horsemen, surely. Well, I think that's the hardest race this season, but the Queen Stage for me is the one that is not only the hardest, but takes on special meaning, and the 111 always will. But yeah, I thought I'd throw in a bit of a curveball with the 4 horsemen this year, but there we go. Sorry.
What's your timer?
Yeah, I know.
It's been go off and you've been waffling on.
I know, another 25 minutes. I know.
Oh, 25.
Yeah, I know. Right, there you go. I've been given the orders by the boss. No, she didn't give me orders. She was just reminding me my timer went off 25 minutes ago. Yeah, thank you all guys so much for watching and joining me in the chat. It's always really good fun. I love these. It's great fun. And I'll see you all for the BR200 tomorrow night in the cat race. Get yourself signed up right now. Go and do it now. No excuses. Drama Queen Stage. Absolutely perfect. Oh, the winner. Do you know, I'm going to have to go to Mr. Peter Robinson for Shit Happened. Or Shit Happened. Was it? I got to find it now. Was it Shit Happened or Shit Happens? Either way, that was my favourite one. And you got in there just before Darren. And I think we should ban Darren from online competitions anyway, because he wins all of them. It's a joke. So, Peter Robinson, I believe it was. I think you've already got some, but you can never have too many of these bad boys, beautifully modelled. This is turning into like QVC. That's yours, my friend. Right. Just check there's nothing urgent. Emma just told him to stop. Right. Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.